Alright, another cold, wet day in North Carolina. I've had a lot of requests about what ladder that I'm using in my swarm trap video. So I thought I would take today, since I can't video anything else, and we would go over what ladders that I started with and what I moved to, and the ladder that I'm using now that everybody's asking the questions about. So let's hop into that video. Okay, so when I started setting swarm traps, this was the ladder that I used. I used this beast right here. It is a 10-foot fiberglass ladder. I got it for free. My dad had a friend who worked for Bell South, which was an old telephone company, and they were getting rid of equipment. And I don't know if they give it to their employees or they sold it to their employees, but this guy had it and he didn't need it anymore, so he gave it to my dad. It's got a broke, one side of the fiberglass is broke, but this is what I used. I had to stick it in my truck. It hung out the back. I strapped it down. It was pretty clumsy. You know, if you're trying to set a trap that's, you know, maybe 6 foot high or 7, 8 foot high, it was a problem because the ladder was so big. You actually had to, you know, decrease the angle of the ladder, which what happened then, a lot of times when you got to the top of the ladder, the feet would slide out and you would fall. So it wasn't a very good option. So then I moved on to a different ladder. So this ladder here is just a 6-foot Stanley step ladder. I've used this one for years now. It's I bought it at Walmart. It's a basic, just 6-foot step ladder. The problem with a step ladder is that a step ladder really needs to set on flat ground, and when you're out putting out swarm traps, the ground is not always flat. So you're a little bit off balance. What happens then is these braces become twisted and you put a lot of tension on them and you end up breaking them, which is what I've done to this one. So it's kind of dangerous. The other problem with a step ladder is it kind of holds you away from the tree. So if you can find a tree that for some reason is just perfectly flat and stable, the step ladder kind of holds you back away from the tree, so you're having to reach across the ladder to do your work, which is a little bit more dangerous. So I've had to move away from this. Now my solution to my broken braces and to all those away from the tree problems was that I actually just collapsed the ladder and I leaned the ladder against the tree that way. But still, this ladder is not really designed to do that, and if I hold the base of the ladder, you can see this ladder has a lot of twist in it. Some of that's because I've been so rough on it and I've really busted up some of the fiberglass, but that twist in that ladder makes this ladder very unstable and dangerous as well. So I've moved to another ladder and we'll check that one out now. So here's the ladder that everybody has been asking questions about. It's a telescoping ladder. I'm going to try to find the product actually on the internet and see if I can't provide a link in the description. I have no clue where this ladder was originally purchased or what kind it is, so I will try to find it for you, and if I do that, I'll post a link for you. But this ladder was actually purchased by my father-in-law. He bought it at Goodwill when we went on a beach trip, or he went on a beach trip, and he paid $15 for this ladder at a Goodwill. And we did find the link for it, and I believe it was like $100 or $150, so it's a pretty good buy. He had no use for it, but he said he knew that I would be able to find something to use it for, and I said, yeah, I have the perfect thing for that. So this ladder is a telescoping ladder. It extends out and expands, and it comes with a little strap here that wraps around it to hold it together and gives you a good handle to carry it with. I like this ladder because it takes up less space. So it's not like the 6-foot step ladder or the 10-foot ladder. I don't know what kind you'd call that, but it's just a 10-foot ladder that doesn't fold up or anything. Because this takes up a lot less room in the bed of my truck. It's not hanging out the back. I don't have to take time to strap it down, so it makes things faster for me. And I can include more swarm traps in the back of my truck when I'm going to set them. Alright, so to take this strap off, all you do, it's just a simple plastic buckle. Squeeze it, it pops right off. I set it over to the side. Now this ladder, it has some instructions here for whenever you open the ladder. You're supposed to start from the bottom. So all you do for this ladder to open it up is you just pull up a run. So there's one. Let me spin it around the right way here. There's two. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 sections. And you lean it up against wherever you want to go. So I haven't measured this ladder, so let's measure it and see how tall it is. So this ladder, fully extended, is 9.5 feet tall, which is plenty enough tall if you watch my swarm trap videos. I like my traps to be 8 to 10 foot up in the air. This is 9.5 feet, so this is perfectly fine. The unique thing about this ladder is you can collapse it by just pressing a few buttons. So there's these little red tabs underneath. You really need to watch your hands on the top. Don't put your hands on the top, because as this ladder falls down, as the pieces fall, it will pinch your fingers. So make sure you clear your hands. But you just mash the 2 red buttons and it'll drop down. So if you need to do just one run, that's what you do. Now if you want to do them all together, there's 2 little rings that you pull at the bottom. So down at the bottom of this ladder, there's 2 rings right here. When you pull these rings, it releases all the rungs of the ladder so they can all fall down nice and convenient. Just like that. Once the ladder's collapsed, you simply wrap the strap back around the ladder, lock it, pick up the handle, and go to your next site. Alright, so those are the ladders that I've used for the last few years. I'm going to try to find the link for that telescoping ladder and put that in the description for you. If you guys see anything else in my videos that you'd like for me to make a video about, feel free to leave that in the comments. If you have any other questions about the ladders or anything we've talked about today, you can leave that in the comments below as well. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and be sure to check out the most recent video that I've posted, and then there'll also be a video that YouTube thinks that you need to watch down here below.